Wystarczy, że dodasz je do każdej doniczki. Pelargonie wspaniale rozkwitną, szybciej rosną i od razu wypuszczają mnóstwo nowych pąków. Kwiaty są duże i mają piękny, wyrazisty kolor. Dla wielu osób łupina od orzecha nie ma żadnej wartości, przez co najczęściej ląduje w koszu. To duży błąd. Zrobię z nich odżywkę do kwiatów. Weź około 20 orzechów. Obierz je z łupin, to z nich właśnie wykonamy miksturę. Zawierają w sobie prawdziwą bombę składników odżywczych. Wśród nich można wymienić potas, magnez, fosfor oraz wapń, jak również błonnik, aminokwasy, białka i garbniki. Łupiny należy wrzucić do garnka i zalać litrem wody. Po czym należy je gotować na małym ogniu pod przykryciem przez 20 minut. Po tym czasie wystarczy wyłączyć palnik i ostudzić miksturę. Następnie dopiero potem przecedzić. Na koniec trzeba rozcieńczyć preparat w proporcji 1 do 2 z wodą. Taką miksturą możesz śmiało podlać swoje kwiaty. Zauważysz różnicę niemal od razu. Ich kolor będzie bardziej wyrazisty, a przede wszystkim ich ilość znacznie się zwiększy.
Gardeners never throw away used dish sponges. They are like gold for plants. This trick is a clever way to recycle. Start by removing the green and hard part of the sponge. You won't need it. Cut the sponge into smaller pieces using scissors. One sponge should yield a handful of pieces. They are invaluable when transplanting potted plants. Adding a sponge to the soil will help retain moisture. It's a great hack for forgetful people or those who often travel. Before planting the plant in a larger pot, put the cut sponge at the bottom. Then, cover it with soil and place the plant. This base will help the water last longer in the pot. If you accidentally pour too much water while watering, the sponge will absorb it. This will protect the plant's roots from rotting. When the soil starts to dry out, the plant will draw moisture from the sponge. Do you know any other tricks for maintaining moisture in a pot?
Since I've been having back problems, I've been using a broom for planting. Also, prepare some empty bottles. You'll see that planting has never been easier. Let me show you a great trick. Cut off the bottom of the bottle. Then, make 4 incisions on the remaining part, but not all the way to the cap. Cut out 2 sections from the 4 walls created by the incisions. This will create a peculiar funnel shape with 2 longer sides. Repeat this process with the other bottles. Cut off the bottoms of each bottle and make similar incisions as with the first bottle. You'll find that the longer these 2 sections are, the better. Get a broom or a brush ready. It can be an old one or something you don't use. The longer the brush, the better. I happen to have one like that. It's important that it has a pole attachment. Get rid of those synthetic fibers, remove them all, or at least the outer ones. Place the first bottle edge onto the brush. Ensure that the longer sides wrap around the brush and the bottle's edge is beneath it. Attach the bottle to the brush using hot glue. If you're using a wooden broom or brush, a staple gun will suffice. Attach the subsequent bottles in the same manner. Since this brush isn't too long, 4 bottles were enough. And there you have it. Attach the pole and head to the field. Take the bulbs you're planting. Mark the holes with your bottle brush. The soil should be well loosened. You don't have to bend over to mark the planting spots. Place the bulbs in the holes and cover them with soil. And that's it. You can make such a marker yourself in a few minutes, and it will be just what you need. Brilliant, isn't it? I add this to water and water my geraniums with it. They grow faster and immediately produce lots of new buds. The flowers are large and have a beautiful, vivid color. All you need is a large bottle. Pour 1.5 liters of regular water or rainwater into it. Next, you'll need some lager beer. Add a few teaspoons of this liquid gold to the bottle. Use natural or organic beer without additives or preservatives, as these can be harmful. The beverage of the gods contains yeast, sugars, and carbohydrates, which can serve as a quick source of energy for soil microorganisms. Yeast contains potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium, exactly what flowering plants like geraniums need. You'll see that this water will further strengthen your geraniums. Remember, geraniums don't like too much water, so water them in moderation. This water with a bit of lager is perfect for geraniums. In a short time, they will reward you with beautiful flowers. Especially during hot weather, mineral-rich water from the liquid gold will be very beneficial for geraniums. And this method works well when you have limited space in the garden, but still want to grow beautiful carrots without thinning. Let me show you how to prepare these containers for planting. Peel off the seal of each container, but don't throw them away. Pour some water into the bottom. You can do this indoors under the tap. After a while, they'll soften. Then you can make a hole in each compartment of the container. Once they dry, they're ready to use. While the containers will soften in moist soil, this method is good to start with. The seals will serve as bases. Fill the containers with soil. Take carrot seeds. The best ones to use are pelleted seeds. They're larger and easier to handle. I happen to have regular ones. You can also use this method for parsley or radish seeds. Place one seed in each compartment, press them into the soil. Sow carrots into all the containers this way. Take the prepared containers to the field. If you have raised beds, this method works perfectly. Just line up the containers next to each other. I have 10 of them, so I'll arrange them in 2 rows of 5. Cover with a layer of soil and firm it down. You can also lay out the containers in rows and plant onions between them. This will ensure exceptionally successful yields. Just a handful is enough, and your geraniums will bloom like crazy. They'll be covered in flowers and fill your entire balcony. Here's how to make a homemade fertilizer that works wonders. Put a tablespoon of rice into a coffee grinder or blender and grind it into rice flour. Add 1 tablespoon of rice flour to a jar. Then, add a tablespoon of sugar. Pour half a liter of hot water over everything. Close the jar tightly and set it in a warm place for 3 days. After this time, strain the mixture through a sieve or gauze to remove the rice remnants. Now, dilute the fertilizer with water in a 1:5 ratio. 1 part fertilizer to 5 parts water. Pour the prepared liquid evenly into the geranium pots. Water with this solution once every 2 weeks. Rice is rich in silicon, iron, and phosphorus, which are essential for plants to bloom. Use this natural fertilizer regularly, and you'll see your plants grow and bloom. Your geraniums will be healthy, lush, and full of colorful flowers. Try it yourself and enjoy the beauty of your plants all season long.
1 łyżeczka sprawi, że sadzonki pomidorów będą silne, zdrowe i dobrze ukorzenione. Będziesz zachwycony. Wiotkie i słabe siewki w końcu rozwiną silny system korzeniowy. Nie będą chorować. Ich łodygi i liście zaczną pięknie rosnąć. Sadzonki pomidorów staną się twoją dumą, a wszystko to dzięki jednemu produktowi. Każdy, kto prowadzi domową rozsadę warzyw, wie, jak wiele warunków trzeba spełnić, aby sadzonki były zdrowe i silne. Odpowiednia temperatura, dużo światła i prawidłowe podlewania. To wszystko zapewniłeś swoim sadzonkom, a wciąż są słabe i nie rosną? Wtedy możesz je zasilić. Ochronisz je przed chorobami grzybowymi, które tak często atakują młode siewki. Nie będą też chorować na tak zwaną czarną nóżkę. Taki środek jest doskonały do ukorzeniania młodych sadzonek. Pobudza je do wzrostu. Aby go przygotować, potrzebujesz odstałej wody albo deszczówki. Taką wodę wlej do naczynia. Ten pojemnik ma 0,5 litra pojemności. Dodaj pół łyżeczki miodu i rozpuść go w wodzie. Na litr wody użyj 1 łyżeczkę miodu. Dodaj pół łyżeczki cynamonu. Cynamon ma właściwości antybakteryjne. Chroni również przed pleśnią i wspomaga ukorzenianie jak miód. Taką mieszanką podlej swoje sadzonki. Będziesz zachwycony efektem. Sadzonki pomidorów będą pięknie rosnąć. Będą silne i zdrowe.